Good morning. Good morning. Peace and blessings. Today is Monday, February 24th, 2025. And welcome back to Voices for the Voiceless. It's your boy Jay Taylor back once again. Now, my topic for today is a congresswoman out of Dallas, Texas, by the name of Jasmine Crockett. And if you don't know, she's a black woman, Congress lady out of Texas, and she's very, very opinionated and boisterous, and you know, a lot of things that she says. I typically try to stay away from addressing female females, period. But a lot of the stuff that this lady says is just outrageous. Like, so it just, I try to stay away from addressing females, period. I kind of leave that up for the ladies to address. But in this situation, this just has to be said. Uh, these Democratic shields that have been put in the position to, spew this rhetoric, um, it's just painfully obvious at this point. You know what Trump and Elon Musk have figured out with Doge going down, shaking down the government, finding all this wasteful spending, abuse, and corruption, and wants to redirect that funds back to the American people in the form of payments of $5,000 for each citizen or household or whatever. Anything that, even if I don't get a $5,000 payment, you know what I'm saying? But just to see other people receive it is, to me, would be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? But um, for some reason, these Democratic shields have a hard time, uh, you know, digesting that. Is that Jasmine Crockett came out and basically said, "Who could use $5,000?" Like, what? Like, I mean, it's insane, man. So let's try to get into what she said actually, and yeah, I got a few videos here. But let's dive in, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this is Jasmine Crockett here, and I'm gonna blow that up, and let's hear what she has to say.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID. That was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their.
Man, she just went all over the world. The lady sat here and just asked her a simple question. A simple question. I mean, she went all over the planet with it, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, lady, what do you think about Trump redirecting wasteful spending and giving it back to the American people? She went on a tangent. My God. Well, let's finish hearing what she has to say.
Their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
We're not in the business of giving out money. Are you insane? We just gave $14 trillion at one time to Ukraine. We just gave illegal immigrants all type of benefits at the taxpayer's expense, such to the extent that we are in just in Chicago, a $1 billion deficit. So we're not in the business of giving our money, until it pertains to the actual American citizens. That's what she's saying, huh? Jesus.
If you are unable to find a job, because I am telling people we are headed towards a recession because the United States government is the 15th largest employer in the world. And so firing those that work for the federal government isn't going to necessarily create new jobs in private industry. In fact, Southwest Airlines, based in my district, just announced for the very first time in its entire existence that they are doing a layoff of approximately 15% of their workforce. If you pay attention, the signs are there, and I'm not telling you to be an alarmist. I'm telling you.
Let's dive into what she's saying right there, because I think like that's the most critical part of her argument. Now, a lot of people are being laid off. The government, like when they're going in, they're finding a lot of overspending as far as people, and that's part of it. Like it's too many people getting paid at the taxpayers' expense on a federal employee. So they're shrinking down the waste. We don't need that many people working, getting paid because the tax dollars are paid. So what Trump is doing is offering a lot of people, 8 months. If you're a government employee, offering you 8 months of pay to basically be laid off because they have to shrink down the spendage. If the government if we got people that's getting paid these salaries and we don't really need them, that's an extra expense for the taxpayers. Now, the cool thing about it is, hey, here go 8 months of pay until you can find another job, full benefits. I don't think that's a bad deal. If they gotta lay people off. I've been laid off before. I know how that feels. It's not a good feeling. So I agree with her there. You gotta admit when she has a point. But if you have them giving you 8 months, because I know layoff, you go get, what I'm saying, unemployment benefits or what have you, you're lucky if you get a couple months before you find another job in a lot of cases. So I think 8 months is enough time for people to go find themselves another job, full benefits with that. So, that's the reason for that. But she does have a point there. That is kind of bogus. People like their jobs, they comfortable. But I also see it on the flip side, it's wasteful spending as well. So I have to give her that one. That one makes a little sense, but let's continue.
You because I want to be honest with the American people, and my background, believe it or not, I was a business major, and none of this looks good for us.
Boy. So once again, we got to talk about Miss Jasmine.
Okay, shout out to the content creator, A Righteous Perspective. Oh, no. Black Conservative. So if y'all want to view the full video, you can head over here to Black Conservative's Perspective. He's gonna call her a different name, but hey, I don't get off into that with the females, but whatever. Let's hear his view.
Crockett, who I am now declaring as the leader of the Democrat Party. Now, why am I declaring Miss Jasmine Crockett the leader of the Democrat Party? Well, the reason why is because if she is the leader of the Democrat Party, that will guarantee that the Democrats will not revive their party. Right now, the Democrat Party is dying. They are in free fall. And part of the reason why is because of extremist leadership from the Democrats, like what Jasmine Crockett is currently putting on display on the mainstream level media. Okay, she's going on all of these outlets, calling white people racist, calling the voters ignorant, okay, saying that you're uneducated, Now she's on the Breakfast Club saying that she's rooting for Mexico and Canada, okay, which I'm going to talk about here. But I also want to talk about something else that Jasmine Crockett is trying to warn people about, which is what she claims is an incoming recession, which, again, I find to be hilarious because Democrats are now trying to play this game where they're blaming President Trump for the current state of the economy, which definitely is a result of the Biden administration, okay? And you know how you know that this.
Exactly. Like, how can you blame this man for the current state of the economy right now? That's just being disingenuous at this point. How can you blame this man? He only been in office a month and some change for how messed up the economy is. He inherited a disaster from the Biden-Harris administration. He's trying to go in and clean it up. It's probably going to be a little rough for it get better, but the way that he's lining things up, the approval rating, you know, the American people have spoken. His approval rating is over 50%, 60%, somewhere in there, and it's higher than it was the first time. So we know this is what we voted for. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going to let him rock out a little bit longer.
This is a result of the Biden administration because these same people that are trying to blame Trump for what is obviously a continuation of Biden's economy are the same people that basically say that Trump's economy was good, not because of Trump, but because of Obama. Trump's economy was an extension of Obama's economy. You guys remember Obama saying this?
Some people, because, you know, I'm having conversations around the country with folks as I go campaigning. And I'll hear some people say, you know, well, I remember the economy when those first 2 years with Trump, they were pretty good. And I say, yeah, it was good. Because it was my economy that I gave to him.
Exactly. How soon we forget? How soon do we forget, bro? You know what I'm saying? He definitely said that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now, you know, they want to flip it around and, oh, Trump is the one that he the one got the economy all messed up. And man, knock it off, man. Like that go to hypocrisy, you know, in a lot of this stuff that we see. So, you know, I got some more clips for y'all, Miss Crockett, you know, and yeah, man, let's get into it because, you know, these people, like I said, they Democratic shields, and they just come out here and, you know, they got an agenda, man, and it's clear with all these narratives that's going on. And this is the content creators, Anthony Brian Logan. So we want to get off into that and check out the commentary here.
A Democratic House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, cannot understand why so many Black people love President Trump. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Democratic House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, not being able to understand why so many Black people love, appreciate, and or just support President Trump. Now, this really shouldn't be that difficult to figure out. Before we get to some real political reasons and before we get to what she said, I just want to state the obvious. Before 2015, when Trump and Melania came down the escalator to announce his run for president, nobody ever said that Trump was a racist. Nobody ever said that Trump hated Black people.
Exactly. This is just insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, prior to him running for office the first time, none of this was a thing. You know what I'm saying? After he ran for office, all of a sudden he became Adolf Hitler and the leader of the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Trump was beloved by the community. We embraced him as one of our own. And this goes back many, many years to the 80s. You got pictures of him with Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks getting awards. He funded Jesse Jackson's not one, but 2 runs for the presidency. He always contributed money. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, NAACP. Okay, rappers love.
And these same people that he funded back then, these same people is trying to throw him under the bus today. I'm just telling you, man. You know, the same people he funded, Al Sharpton and all them, and Jesse Jackson, all them still, they're not today. They got all this smoke that they got for Trump on the racist tip when they used to, you know what I'm saying, get funded from the man. I'm just saying, man, I love how he breaking this down. Let's let him continue.
Loved him. He was in the Fresh Prince for an episode. We loved him there. He was on an episode of G Unit Radio at the height of 50 Cent's popularity with Tony Yayo. Not even 50. He wasn't even there. And Trump appeared on this radio show in person. This is long before any kind of presidential aspiration was announced. This is just Trump, being a friend to the Black community. We've always loved President Trump. So it was only in 2015 where that changed. People like Jasmine Crockett don't really want to acknowledge that. Now, before I go any further and get into some more political reasons why we support Trump, let's get to the video here. Of course, this is going to be Breakfast Club, so I got to kind of do weird freeze frames and stuff like that to prevent copyrights. But of course, I will link to this video in full without my commentary in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Why do you think people still love him so much? And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like us. Like why are there some of us that still favor him? Like, why is he still so?
What kind of question is this, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do people love him and all this stuff? He just ran through a laundry list of reasons why. You know what I'm saying? He was a part of the community. He was a contributor, financially support the Black community. And we see it today where he announced that he's going to do a monument garden for several Black, you know, historians. You know what I'm saying? Even on down for Muhammad Ali, you seen him in pictures to Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we rocks with Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Like he has such a high approval rate, Trump.
I don't know that. I ain't gonna say he got a high approval rate. He is doing better in his approvals than
It's
he
people like
typically.
us that like a lot of Black people.
You don't mean literally.
Fighting
you mean
for
literally.
it.
Oh,
No, I think
okay.
he does because
I
you know
got
they put out a poll, and I think his approval rating was 53%.
Yeah,
She's
that's
talking about Black people though, right?
Yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
about us. Like, there's so many of us like that.
Yeah, I
that be
can't
fighting for
explain
this man.
I can't explain it. I have no explanations. The only thing that I can say is that number one, I'm happy to know that Trump is an anomaly.
So you don't know? You don't know? I mean, it's really easy to understand. Let's talk about who you have to run on your side. Who are your top people on your side, the Democrats? Can we just show that right quick? Because I think that's pretty important. Now, look, this right here, these are your top 5 people according to.
Man, you got Kamala Harris, AOC, Tim Walz, Gavin Newsom, and I don't know who these zesty looking dudes is in the bottom right, but the Democratic Party in comparison to the Republican Party, there's no comparison. They don't have any leadership at this point. Nobody to say, hey, this is the voice in the face of the Democratic Party. Now, the Republican Party, on the other hand, I mean, you got Trump, but you also have RFK Jr., you have Tulsi Gabbard, you have JD Vance, you have what's the brother name? Byron Donalds. You got Vivek Ramaswamy. You got relatively younger politicians that have, you know, a powerful voice and they're visible in the public and they're, you know, they're strong they're strong politicians. But on the Democratic side, it's looking really bad right now. I mean, just look at this. Gavin Newsom, come on, bro. You sat up there and let your state just burn up in flames, literally, because you didn't have enough water in the fire hydrant. Kamala Harris, man, your campaign was disastrous. You blew $2 billion and don't nobody even know where the money went. AOC, Tim Walz, man, knock it off, man.
According to a recent poll in the 2028 Democratic primary, these are the top 5 people that the Democrats want to run for president. Who do we have here? First of all, nobody black. That's number one. So I don't want to hear this whole black thing. That's not really a thing on either side. And personally, I don't really care about that. Are you a good leader or not? Do you know what you're doing or not? Are you going to have this country run properly or not? We have Kamala, who's Indian, not black. You have AOC. You have Tampon Tim Walz, Gavin Newsom, and then Pete Buttigieg, a man married to a man, and they, quote unquote, adopted, purchased 2 kids. That is who we're going to try to put out in front.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think we get the gist of that. Man, this is crazy. But before I get up out of here, Jasmine Crockett came up under, some smoke because of her statements about the $5,000. You feel me? And she wanted to address that. So, I like to give people their opportunity to speak for themselves. So let's cue up her response to people like, lady, you crazy. Yeah, we want $5,000. What you talking about? And like I said, I'm not going to disrespect the young lady, calling out a name like and nothing like that. But, that's just insane. To say that people can't do nothing, you know what I'm saying, with an extra 5 bands. Lady. But yeah, let's see her clap back. You know what I'm saying? And this content creator is the homie Anton Daniels. So let's get to it.
Conversation. I'm going to let the whole thing play through, and then we're going to come back and have a conversation about it. Also, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
Y'all are really confused because Elon and his friends decided to put it out there. What I said was, what is $5,000 going to do for you if you don't have a job? That is what I said. That is what I said, because I can tell you that there's a lot of people that are losing their jobs with the federal government and could care less about a $5,000 check. There's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs as it relates to private industry that could care less about a $5,000 check. So what I was saying is, what is $5,000 if you ain't got no job? Because right now we are headed towards a recession. These were my exact words, and you don't have to believe me. Just Google the ABC live interview with me, and you will see that they intentionally stopped the recording right after I said, what is $5,000? Because they believed that people would not research and figure it out on their own. And sadly enough, like MAGA doing it is like one thing. To have a colleague send me a video of a Black woman that is an educator, and she's out here livid, talking about this, why she can't stand me. Man, we've never met a day in our lives. You ain't gotta like me, you ain't gotta love me, but at least get your facts together before you go out there. And honestly, if you still feel a way and you say I disagree with you, then you just disagree. Like, that's perfectly fine, but at least get your facts straight. Like, that's all I want this country to do, is start with a bottom line of facts. And so I was gonna do a video and this and that, but I'm a little busy. I'm a little freaking busy. And actually, it was how busy I was that really was getting to them.
The only thing that these Congress members and these people that are supposed to be legislators and all of that, the only thing that they're doing is doing a tour. They go on network to network. That's why Joy Reid got fired. That's why Joy Reid got fired, is because they keep letting y'all on there spew y'all rhetoric.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. All these people do is just talk. Talk. What work? If you got so much to say about Trump's and Elon's $5,000 refund proposal, what do you suggest that the American people should get? Because clearly people are, they're having a hard time right now. What is your suggestion? Instead of just criticizing their proposal. What say you, Miss Jasmine Crockett? I mean, I'm just saying. But let's continue.
And y'all keep on losing. Y'all just losing and losing and losing. And they don't even know when to be objective and when to work with the people and when to work with the Republican. You know, when to work with Trump and all of that. They don't know when to choose their battles. They just gonna go all the way left and just gonna lose it. I'll get to the $5,000 thing in a minute.
Because I just happen to be a somewhat effective messenger. So the best thing that they could try to do is try to make me look like I'm not an effective messenger. Why would I go out on national TV knowing that people are hurting and just be like, no? And the other part of it is that I knew that the same people that didn't vote for the $1,200 who now run the House, that they weren't going to put it on the floor. And guess what? The same day I was doing that interview, the Speaker of the House, the one that has to put bills on the floor, he actually said at CPAC, that's not happening. So I'm just telling y'all what I know. And you can, again, go into your own research if it's not too much for you. But you can do your research and figure out who voted for the American Rescue Plan. And you can figure out who it was that controlled the House at that time. You can figure out who it was that voted on the Senate side. It was the Democrats, y'all. It was the Democrats. And that was because it was a once in a life.
Mind you, this woman is trying to tell you about $5,000, but she's a congresswoman that gets a salary, supposed to get a salary over what, 200,000, but she's worth millions of dollars. Now, how do you explain that? Your salary is 200,000, but you're worth the $3 million. Where you getting that extra funding from? All you do is go on platforms and complain about the Donald Trump administration, but you get a $200,000 salary, but you're worth millions. I'm just saying. I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
Lifetime pandemic, and guess what? They were trying to save our economy, and guess what? They did save our economy, and guess what? This motherfucker is sending the shit literally into the shitter right now. Don't believe.
She's so ratchet and so ghetto and so hood, bro.
Bro.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house for any reason.
That was funny, man.
And these are the people that are supposed to be running the country and controlling the purse strings of the United States of America.
Me look at the Dow, look at private industry, look at the fact that costs are going up, yet
my portfolio is booming. Make sure.
Man, these, like you said, these are the people that are making the decisions on your behalf in Congress. People like Miss Crockett right here are the ones that are making it. Texas, what's going on, man? I'm just saying. Dallas, Texas, this who y'all elected.
Make sure y'all tap in the stock club.
Jobs are going down. That is a recipe for a recession. So
no idea what she's talking about.
It is not fun to sit up here and throw out some money. And in fact, what the speaker said was that would be good for our campaigns. Like legitimately, like literally, he just put it out there so that people. The only thing they'll remember, some people, I guess, is that he said he was gonna give out $5,000, and it's a lie. It is a lie. Like everything else he does, lie. But if y'all,
I'm just saying, everything Donald Trump said he was gonna do, he's doing. He said he was gonna mass deportation day one, boom, hit the ground running. He said he was gonna close the border, boom. Close the border. It's closed. It ain't nobody coming across that. Not one person since he's been in office came across that border. He said he was going to shake down the government. What Elon Musk and them doing with Doge. He said he was going to end the wars. What he doing? He bringing the hostages back home, got Putin and Zelensky and everybody else under control. You know what I'm saying? They talk about, peace in the Middle East. So this lie stuff, Where you getting that from, lady? I'm just saying, the man, everything he said he was gonna do, he been doing and attempting to do it. Now, the whole thing with the $5,000, it's a proposal. So it's not nothing that he said he's for certain that he's gonna do. So it's not a lie, it's a proposal. But see, you got to be careful with the rhetoric these Democratic shields use when they be trying to break this stuff down, man. But let's continue.
Y'all want to believe the lies, then that's just on y'all. But I just wanted to make sure that I set the record straight.
So what he said was, and this is what Elon Musk and Trump were talking about, and they just kind of talked about it. They floated the idea of returning the money back, returning a percentage of the money, similar to a dividend. And I explained this on the Millionaire Morning Show, returning the money back to the people in the form of a dividend. So basically from the money that they possibly save and that they're anticipating saving billions, if not trillions of dollars from all of the government fraud and the waste that's happening, that to return a percentage of that money back to the American people in the form of possibly something like $5,000 checks, because we pay so much money in the taxes, but then it's all going overseas, it's all going to fraud, it's all going to fake Social Security payments. We don't know. And so instead of her addressing that, because I don't know anybody that would turn down.
Thank you. Like, why do they not address that? They just glance over the fact that we've been spending all this money on just crazy stuff, man. We did a live about wasteful spending and corruption. And the crazy amounts of money that we send into other nations. Why don't these people, Democratic shields, why don't y'all ever address that? What you worried about what Trump and Elon talking about, address the corruption. Out of everything we done heard this lady say, and I've been recording for 30 minutes and let her get her thoughts out, she's never addressed that. The Democrats never addressed the wasteful spending, the corruption, the abuse that the taxpayer citizens have been, experiencing. But let's continue.
A refund or dividend payment for the amount of money that they paid in the taxes. And I don't know anybody that wouldn't help. Instead of doing that, instead of focusing on the fraud, instead of focusing on all of the things that's negative that's happening inside of our legislature, instead of focusing on the fact that these sanctuary cities won't help ICE get out of here people that are over here illegally and doing crime inside the United States of America, this is the hill that she decides that she wants to die on. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also teach.
Exactly, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we can stop that right there. In conclusion, be careful with these Democratic shields, these people that are put in position to confuse you. They'll prop up somebody that they play identity politics. Obviously, they'll prop up a black woman or something like that to spew this rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? To get you to identify her because of the way she looks and the way she speaks. It sounds familiar. But when you break down what she's basically saying that the American people should continue to be abused through our tax dollars and that we don't deserve any refund or any relief. Let's continue to send it over to all these other nations for frivolous reasons, but not go to the American people. I'm just saying. So, man, Miss Jasmine Crockett, I can't take none of these people serious. And that's just the truth. And, I love what the current administration is doing, downsizing the government, redirecting the funds. Sound like a plan to me. But hey, what say you? Leave it in the comment section. Voices for the voiceless. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Jay Taylor. Peace and blessings. And we'll speak to you soon. Love.